Good day, everybody, and welcome to Friday's Q&A. And here's my co-host. This is Renee.
Hi.
And Renee was here for
Personal training and treatment.
personal training and treatment. That's what she was here for. And she was staying in the condo, and she was down having saunas in the
Yeah.
Swedish sauna, eh?
I loved it.
You loved it?
Wonderful.
Yeah. And so what do you think about your 5 days here?
I think it's been a gift. I've really enjoyed it. My body has been benefited by it. My mind, my spirit. I just feel like I've really taken good care of myself this week.
Yeah, and now we just got to do it for every week after this
That's
week, right?
Right.
So listen, welcome everybody. We've got lots of questions to get through today, and Renee's going to help me with some of those questions, okay?
I'm happy to help.
There you go, eh?
Okay.
And then I've got Jason. If you say hello, Jason.
Hey everyone. Thanks
Jason's
for
going
tuning
to be reading the questions and helping to keep me on track, if you can actually keep me on track. And I just want to say good day, everybody. And I hope you had a beautiful week. And today's Friday. I want you to enjoy your weekend with your family. And here we've got snow on the ground, and I guess skiing opens up here this weekend. But let me ask you something. I have one question to ask you today. How would you like to take your power back? Better still, how would you like to stop giving it away? And I truly mean that. These Q&As are all about that. My DocTalk shows, they're all about that. My interviews with guests are all about that. But guess what? There's a hidden practitioner in all of us. And this year, we're going to help you uncover and discover that you can go from patient to practitioner and from practitioner to doctor. Now, I'm not kidding when I say this. If you stay a patient, you're only going to be as good as you can be until the next treatment.
That's right.
And that's all you are. And that's just like a mouse on a wheel. But once you discover that hidden practitioner within, do you know what's going to happen? You're going to be able to actually connect to your breath. You're going to be able to actually what? Stay in the present moment. You're actually going to know that all the systems out there are BS. They are dysfunctional belief systems. You're going to find out that the healthcare system is a broken system. Not even broken, it's toxic. Now, are there parts that we want to keep? Especially there are. There's life-saving parts out there that in the medical system that will actually help us when we need emergency care. But when you bring emergency care into your life every day, you become that emergency. So understand something. We want to go from patient to practitioner and practitioner to doctor. And you're going, what does he mean go to doctor? Well, because I'm going to tell you something. Doctor means teacher. I want to ask you another question. Is your doctor teaching you? And what is your doctor teaching you? Is your doctor teaching you to be full of fear, like you want to put your Nikes on and run? Or is your doctor, when you go to see a doctor, are they empowering you and saying anything from constipation to a tumor? This is what you do, and this is how we can turn this around? Or are they going, hey, you've got a tumor, we got to cut it out, burn it out? Or guess what? Other people in your situation, they only have 6 weeks or 6 months to live. Well, that will change when you change your personality. So, but you got to change your doctor too. Because when you have a doctor with limited beliefs or a practitioner with limited beliefs or a practitioner that's scared and lives in fear, I think we all forgot that the human body heals itself. Mm-hmm. And I think we also forgot that we're allowed to be full of joy and we can be happy all the time, even if there's suffering in our family. Mm-hmm. But Renee, for you, when you see suffering in your family, I guarantee that you suffer with it, don't you?
I do.
Well, you're going to have to give that up.
Right.
This is why you're with me today on the show.
Yeah.
Because we need to drive this home before you go home.
Absolutely.
That, you know what? It's not a sin for Renee to have joy 24/7 and to create a world of heaven.
That's my birthright.
It is your birthright. Thank you for that. So understand something. Like I said, there is a hidden practitioner in all of us. And guess what? I'm here to help you discover it. On Saturday, December the 21st at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be gifting to everybody, okay, a 4-part video series to help you do just that. And you know what it's called? It's called The Holy Grail of Healing. And because we truly are family, okay? We may not all get along. We may even be out there trying to kill each other, but we are family, and we bloody well remember that. But we do at Christmas time, don't we? We'll put our guns down. We'll shine our hearts more. Why can't we do it all the time? Because we're programmed robots. And I'm going to help you deprogram yourself, okay? On December the 23rd at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be gifting and giving you a glimpse of the most powerful masterclass, okay? All right, available. All right, so first, on December 23rd at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be giving you a glimpse of the most powerful masterclass, and it's called A to Z Wellness, all right? And I promise you that this will change your life forever, all right? This is 40 videos. Now, first, I'm going to be introducing to you on the 21st a 4-part series called The Holy Grail of Healing, where I'm going to show you that the pelvis and the abdominal area is where all disease comes from. All right? We know it starts in the brain first, but then it goes to this area of the body to become the physical and then spreads out from there. And then on the 23rd, I'm going to be releasing a 1 part of the A to Z Wellness Masterclass, and you're going to be able to see what we're going to be showing you. We're going to show you what the medical system says, and not just the medical system, but most practitioners say out there. Then we're going to show you what we say about a certain illness. And we've got 40 videos that we're going to show you. You'll be able to go to any type of illness that you're suffering from, see what we have to say, and see what we say about turning this around. Okay? And on New Year's, at 12 a.m. New Year's night, we are going to be having the first 1,000 people that opt in will be getting this free. All right? And there's my gift to you. All right? And then on December the 18th, we will be having our master trainer interview with Mary Phillips, okay? You're going to love this. Mary Phillips, she does blood work. She lives in California, and she runs her clinic down there, and you can also go to her website as well. All right, but make sure you check that out. And then on December 20th, we have DocTalk Q&A one more time before Christmas. And like I said, on Saturday, December the 21st, we're releasing the Holy Grail of Healing, free to you, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jason, you want to take it away, and let's do our first question.
Let's get started here.
All right, my friend.
Jennifer from YouTube. Could you please explain the difference between personal treatment and training, clinical certification, and your certification courses?
Okay, what was that again?
Could you please explain the difference between personal treatment and training, the clinical certification, and your certification courses?
Well, I don't know, Renee. Why don't you tell them what the personal treatment and training is like?
It's when you come here, and I stayed in the condo, and I received treatment every day. And I also learned how to give treatments to other people so that when I come back home, I can share what I learned and do that on people that I care about and share it with others. So
yeah, so we're teaching you. We're going in and working on Renee's troubled areas.
Right.
We're teaching her about how to create the perfect day on an emotional and physical level.
Yep.
And we're going in and showing her how to do the technique, the Wolfe deep tissue and the non-surgical, and how to work on certain areas of the body, especially the areas that are most important to you, correct?
Right.
So
yes, for me it was especially my pelvis. So that is a very key area. And so we spent a lot of time. Jason worked on me this week, and it was just wonderful. I enjoyed all of it, and then I get to share it when I get home. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
You've done amazing, Renee. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much, Jason. You're amazing. I'm so grateful to you. It's just wonderful.
So we have that here, and then we also send out master trainers like Sage right now is up in Fort St. John, and he's teaching a whole family, and he's working on a gentleman that was supposed to go and have back surgery and actually have a steel rod put into his spine. That was over the second day he was there. Usually it only takes us one treatment to actually show somebody they don't have to go to surgery, and it's all just made up. I'm going to tell you something. Not 90% of all surgeries, but 999 surgeries out of 1,000 do not have to be done. If you understand that they're all based on chronic care, which means chronic care means that it's terrible health care. All right? It's not taking care of yourself.
Right.
So everybody's going to be on drugs and everybody's going to be on surgery unless they unleash that practitioner from within.
Right.
So Sage was in LA and he did a personal treatment and training down there. He's going to St. John's. He's there now. He comes home for Christmas. Then he goes back to LA. Then he goes to San Diego. Then he's going to Mexico. Then he comes back home to do another one. So that's personal treatment and training to go. And then we have our certifications, which is a 21-day training. And people don't really understand this, and they think that I'm making it up. It's too good to be true. But in a 21-day training, if you've got passion, you got purpose, we can have you ready in 21 days to open up your own business. Now, if you've always lacked confidence and you have never been good enough, then you'll never be good enough anyways. And if you understand that that's just a subconscious belief that's holding you back, and whether it's your job or whether it's relationships, it's all the same thing. You know, being scared to be wrong, scared to fail is the worst thing you'll ever have. I welcome failure, and I love rejection. When somebody rejects me, I just know that it's not meant for me. And when I fail, it just means I need to practice. You don't become an Olympian with practicing for an hour.
Right.
You know, we're talking about a lot of practice. So understand something. Some people say 21 days to become a certified therapist where you could actually work on people. Yes. Yeah, I'll give anybody a money-back guarantee to prove that we can do this. We can do this for anyone. How do you feel just these few days of being here?
I feel the best that I've felt in a long time. I feel more fully myself. I feel more in my body.
Yeah, and
I
how
feel
do you
great.
feel about, could you actually go home and even help your mother, your
Yeah,
sister,
my
or
dad,
somebody,
yeah.
or your dad?
Yeah.
And but before you came here, did you believe you could ever do it?
I questioned. I just didn't know. I thought it was possible, but I have more confidence now because
Yeah.
I've been trained and I've been doing it. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it when I get home.
I want to tell you something. You know, there's this saying that I have, set me flee. You know, and and there was actually a study done where they took fleas
Yes.
and they put them into a jar, and it was a glass top. It was only 10 inches high. Fleas can jump 3 to 4 feet. They kept them in there for 8 hours. They released them, and for the rest of the flea's life, which is not a long time,
Right.
but they only jump 10 inches for the rest of their life. And that's what you're doing. You know, you have this glass illusionary top that you believe that you can only go so far. And understand something. I haven't even begun yet. When you see what I do in the next year, you're going to say that's not even humanly possible. And I'm going to do that because I need to prove to you that you got sucker punched, right? And you got sucker punched so hard from the minute you came out of your mother's birth canal. That's when they started to adulterate you, okay? So anyways, that's our certifications, is the Whole Life Coach and the Wolfe Deep Tissue and the Non-Surgical. The next one that's happening is here in April, and after that it'll be in Palm Springs in June. But I will be doing a Whole Life Coach, just a Whole Life Coach in Orlando in March. And also, just so everybody knows, we will be at Extapa Palace next November doing our first 33-day awakening for anybody who really, truly wants to say, I'm going to take 33 days of my life and hang out with Dr. Wolfe, and I'm going to come home and I'm going to unleash the real me, the authentic me. I'm going to be doing it. We'll have a 12-day intensive Whole Life Coach certification, and then we will be going into some really deep body work, therapy, energy medicine, and in 33 days, that person will come home knowing how to eat, think, and become the master of their mind and body, and to do that for others. And it's actually our doctor program. So, you know, patient to practitioner to doctor.
Yeah.
All right? Did I do it? What else was there?
That's everything. Covered
Okay.
it all.
All right. I've got a couple from that were just sent in. Julie from YouTube asks, when using the pelvic expander, is the leg that's hanging down supposed to be straight or angled to the side? Okay, did everybody? Remember when I said the Holy Grail of Healing? Okay, the Holy Grail of Healing will be released on the 21st. Okay? So on the 21st, we're releasing the Holy Grail of Healing. And in there, we're going to be talking about everything that can go wrong and how to turn it around in your abdomen and in your pelvis. And we're going to be teaching you thoroughly how to do the belly button therapy, the pelvic activation squat, and then we're going to teach you how to use the pelvic expander. And if you listen and do these things that I told you on this, it's going to blow your mind. Okay, it's going to cost you absolutely nothing, and I will do more for your health with that video than people have done for you probably in your whole life. Did you get that? But you got to want to do it. Okay? And after we actually release that video, I'm going to be taking questions, okay, 3 days later. I want 3 days later, but it'll be about 2 days later. We're going to do a Q&A, so we'll be answering all the questions from those videos, all right? And I just made that up. So Drake, can you make sure that we actually plan that? I made that up. See, what you need to do in life is make stuff up, right?
We're doing it anyway.
We make it up all the time. But the thing is, let's make up stuff that's going to be fun.
On purpose.
And and make up stuff that's going to be fun and life enhancing, all right? So anyways, you would bend your leg. Now let's say that Julie, one leg is going to be, okay, everybody, one leg will be way up, straight up near like this on a board, and the other one is going to be hanging off the massage table. Now, the pelvic expanders, you'll be able to buy them from Dean Soleil, and we'll let everybody, if you want to know, we'll tell you where you can go and directly order from him. Okay, so they won't go through us. We don't make any money off of them. But you're going to hang your leg, but for some people, there's such beef jerky in their groin, they'd feel like they were going to tear out. So you would put your put your foot on a chair or a stool just to rest it, but have it down low enough that you feel a little bit of pull in the groin, just a little bit of stretch. Now with me, when I do it, I'll have one leg straight up and the other leg hanging over, and I'll have a 12-pound weight on my ankle. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you something, whether you believe this or not, I'll be 64 years old and I have no pull. No pull in my groin at all. I'm just wide open, loosey-goosey. Okay, so that's what you want to be. So if I'm loosey-goosey down there and I was a woman, I would never have an ovarian cyst, endometriosis, bladder infection, because you know what? Flow, baby. Flow. It's all about flow. It's all about the energy flow, the lymph flow, the blood flow. Yeah. So being a man, I will never have a prostate problem. I'll never have a urination problem. I mean, you know what? Whether you want to believe this, but in the next 5 years, they say that prostate cancer will go up 400%. It'll be the main cancer that actually is taking the lives of men. And guess what? What it's from? It's from their pelvis. It's from their large intestine, their abdominal area, because they've blown their colon out. It's no longer a garden. It's no longer a sewage system that creates 85% of your immune system. It's now a septic cesspool of bacteria, bad bacteria, and fungus and virus that's leaking into their pelvis, and you could not have a pelvic problem, whether a man or a woman, unless you had a bowel problem first. Mm-hmm. End of story. Mm-hmm. So I hope I answered that question. Alice K from Facebook asked what she can use to boost her 20-year-old. Okay, Alice, to boost her 20-year-old's daughter's immune system. Well, first of all, think about when you were 20 years old. How sure you were of yourself. For one thing, you didn't love yourself. For one thing, you wanted somebody to fill your heart up. You did. The other thing is a lot of times when you're around that age, not everybody, but you're looking for a new family. So whatever your friends are going to do, you're going to do. So if they drink alcohol, you'll do it. If they're toking, you'll do it. Sometimes even if they're doing heavy drugs, you'll do it. If they're not eating right, you'll do it. Because you're always looking for approval, right? You'll always be looking for approval too until you approve of yourself. Yeah. So the best thing you could ever do for your daughter's immune system is to get her to connect to her breath. Mm-hmm. For one thing, get her to drink structured water, because nobody at 20 years old drinks water. Right? Okay, they just don't. Okay, get her to poop right, okay, because she's not pooping right. Okay, at 20 years old, I wasn't pooping right. I had colitis, right? Yeah, that's what got me into the bowel business. And my grandfather died of colon cancer, right? And everybody in my family had bowel problems when I think about it. Almost everybody in my family has bowel problems still. So, people think bowel problems are just, so you want get her bowel straightened out, get her to drink structured water, get her to connect to her breath, and get her to let herself off the hook. Okay? And then the best thing you could do is to tell her that she can say anything to you, no matter what it is, and you'll never be mad at her, and that you totally forgive her for everything she's ever did or ever going to do. And then make sure that if you want her to be well, that you are setting the example. What kind of food is in the cupboard? What kind of food is in the fridge? Okay? And when you're with her, are you smiling? Are you happy? Are you having a great time? It's what you are that will change her.
Right.
You know what parents are? They're hypocrites. Parents are hypocrites, right? No, you can't have a snack. When the kids go to bed, we're going to eat them all. Okay? All right. So I would start there. Make sure her bowels are moving. Make sure she hydrates. And try to get her to understand that live foods create life and dead foods and GMOs, well, you know what they do, right? So we can't go that deep. You start going that deep, you scare them off. And especially when you start telling them to do things you're not even doing. So that's all I'd like to say on that one.
Can I add something to that? I would add the belly button therapy is something easy and simple to do. That
There you go.
would help.
The belly button therapy. And guess what? It only releases 70% of your serotonin and 50% of your dopamine faster, the two healing hormones, faster than anything else you can do in your life. If you're going to press one button, you press the what?
The belly button.
That's right. You play with your belly button, okay? And guess what? Nobody's ever going to send you to jail, and you can play with that belly button all you want.
Right.
And you can trigger that belly button throughout the day. You connect to your lion heart breathing,
Yep.
and, they took them away. You connect to your lion heart breathing, and you do your belly button, and you just do it. Okay? It's just like when you start to go into a fear mode, nothing puts you back into the present moment and into a healing state like the belly button therapy. And you know what? It's just a silly looking tool, but guess what? If you don't use it, you'll be the tool. Okay? All right. Okay, I think we got another one. Christine from Facebook has been having pelvic pain ever since having a colonoscopy and wonders if the doctors would have poked a hole in her, resulting in leaky gut. I'm going to tell you something. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
The medical system was told not to do colonoscopies 20 years ago. They said that doing colonoscopies is not worth it. There's more dangers by doing them than what we can find out. That we cause tears in there, bacterial problems, infections. Yeah. So there's your answer. You can't be sticking tools into the rectum. Okay? And the lining tears really easy. And so you get a little bit of infection, and that bacterial gets into that little cut, and it will fester. All right? That's why people with ileitis, colitis, Crohn's disease, you can take about 15 years off their life, and their nervous system is totally blown out. Because it's like having a screen door in a submarine. Doesn't work very well. Do you see?
I see.
Yeah. So that's what's really going down. And let me tell you something. I don't go to doctors. I'm never going to doctors. All right? I just went to a dentist, and you're just going to go, what are you, a wacko? I haven't been to a dentist in 20 years. Okay? I kind of stay away from them. And the dentist that I found, she doesn't believe in x-rays. And she said, Dr. Wolfe, I can find every cavity without x-rays. And she did. So I had 5 cavities after 20 years. She fixed them for me. And she was amazing.
How did she find them? Was it her hand and
with
her feeling?
just looking at, as she says, you can tell cavities with the way the gum tissue is around the area. And just with mirrors and using mirrors, she said that's the way they used to do it before x-rays.
Right.
You know, but now we can't. Now dentists just can't figure out how to use the mirrors anymore.
Got to use a man-made machine.
Well, it's all about that. You know, there's a lot of dentists here in town. They won't touch me unless they can do an x-ray. So anyways, So just so you know, I had $5,000 work, and I paid $700. Go figure. All right? And that's the God's truth. All right. Jason?
All right, next question. Lori from Facebook.
I almost forgot there was anybody else in the room. Okay. All right.
All right, ready to go?
I'm ready to go,
Okay.
Jason.
Right. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I've been looking like a muffin top lately. All right.
Okie dokie.
Would you mind sharing the carrot juice water fast with me? Gracias.
Well, who is it?
Lori from Facebook.
Lori, thank you for that. Thank you for making people laugh. Thank you for not tearing yourself down, but making fun of it. You know what I mean? Because when we get too serious, if you're really serious about losing weight, you wouldn't lose it. Because you got to what? You got to go with the what?
Go with the flow.
No, with the muffin top.
With the muffin top.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so everybody's going to do it different, and honestly, you're allowed to call me. I want everybody to know out there that if you want to call me on WhatsApp, my number is 250-801-0133 if it's all around the world, because I've been having people having really a hard time to get at me, and I don't ever want that. And you can also call me on FaceTime at that same phone number, or you can dial the 800 number, and I'm extension 5. Now, here's the deal. For me, I just came off a really hectic schedule, so if I would have went into an advanced water fast, I would have just knocked myself down, right? So I had to just kind of calm down, and just still bring in the nourishment, because everybody, people go, carrot juice, man, it's got so much sugar in it. Well, when you juice vegetables, it's totally cool. You never juice fruit.
Right.
You never, except lemon and lime. And you could also juice watermelon, because it's mainly water. But everything else is a no-go. Okay? So, but we juice carrot juice because carrot juice is the orange color. It's power. It's power. The sun is energy. Orange is power. It's kind of a mix, isn't it? So what I did was I went on 8 days of carrot juice. I just did that. And the first couple of days, because I was kind of like, it's kind of beat up a little bit because I was really working hard before I went on it. I wasn't beat up like this, but I was a little drained. So I did, honestly, I did a gallon of carrot juice. And I did that for about the first 4 days. And then I was just like, no, I don't need it. So then I was doing about 2 quarts, cut it with water, structured water, and I put a little bit of fulvic in. And I did that for about another 3 days, right? And then after I did that, I felt like I didn't want any more carrot juice. Because see how you're just, it's all an illusion, okay? It's an illusion that you need food. There are people that went 150 days without food, and they were doing fasting, okay? And I know a couple people that have gone on my protocol 60 and 80 days.
Wow.
And they were dealing with cancer and obesity at the same time, and they turned them all around. So you can either spend $30,000 and look for silver bullet therapy at some clinic, or you can do this and just make sure you get proper guidance and nutrients, and just make sure you get the cork out of your butt so that you can get the toxins out and that you flush the liver. No, if you don't want to work on your liver and pay attention to your colon, this won't work. This will not work.
Coffee enemas.
No, the ultimate coffee enema.
The ultimate coffee enema.
Yeah, just doing a coffee enema is not, But the reality is, okay, so then I did, and then what I did was I did 12 days. I did 12 days of just ATP, Ormus minerals, fulvic concentrate, structured water, okay, and I felt great. The only time that I started to feel a little bit is when I wasn't connected to my breath in the present moment. That's how you blow a fast. And the reality is your subconscious. I own my subconscious, and I'm one of the only people that I know that owns my subconscious. Now, do I own it 100% of the time? No. Do I own it maybe 95% of the time? Yes. And sometimes do I lose myself? Yes. I still do. I don't know if I'll ever get that perfected, but that would be my goal. Now, People that have a busy mind cannot fast.
Mhm.
So that's the reality.
Mhm.
People that have fear cannot fast because they actually think they need nutrition. They need food. Like people say, if I miss one meal, I get a headache. That's how toxic they are and how fearful they are.
Mm.
Because everything is psychological before it becomes physical.
Right.
End of story. I don't care what anybody says, you know? So understand, I just got a professional, a health professional, a doctor from Europe. And we got him started, went through the whole thing. I said, okay, we're going to do 7 days of the carrot juice. No, I said we're going to do, first thing I said, we're going to do 10 days of the perfect day because he never had a perfect day diet. Mm-hmm. So perfect day diet, if you go to my, the perfect day guide on my Doc of Detox library, go to page 37 and it goes to about page 46. Read through that. Anyways, it's like 2 blender shakes, 2 salads, mm-hmm. and doing a few other things throughout, of course. It's a perfect day guide. And I said, you're going to do that for at least 10 days. Then we're going to go 7 days on carrot juice. Then we're going to go into try to do 12 days because when you hit 6 days on our advanced water fast, even though we're using ATP, fulvic, and ormus minerals, these things don't turn on your digestive tract. If you turn on your digestive tract, it's not a fast.
Right.
These products will bypass the Krebs cycle. So anyways, he's going, yeah, let's do this. And then his subconscious came and boom, sucker punched him and knocked him down. Oh my God, I can't take this. It's just too much. And then take a night and think about it. And then he calls me up. And then he says, I know it's logical, but I can't do this. Mm-hmm. Now, I got to take it really slow. Mm-hmm. I said, well, however long it takes, we're going to take that time. Mm-hmm. But once you get there, understand this. Now, this person here has a life-threatening situation. Mm. But if I push this person, I'm making it into a life-threatening situation, and I'm not going to do that. Mm. And I know that he's going to be fine. So we're going to take this time and allow his subconscious to bring this in. Because let's say that you worked in the medical field all your life, and then I brought all this natural stuff. Because you tried everything else, you have nowhere else to go.
Right. 2 different worlds.
Yeah. Like, I'll tell you right now, I'm working with an oncologist who's the head of a hospital, not in North America right now, and he's going through a protocol. He's the head oncologist, head of the cancer part of this hospital. He's got lipomas all over him, and they're dissolving right now. Mm. So at the beginning, he couldn't wrap his head around this. So everything is built on the subconscious. So when it comes to your fasting, Lori, you little muffin top, you understand something. I got to get everybody to get this. You just got to get this. Exercise will never give you the body you want. Mm. You've got to fast to get rid of cellulite, to get rid of fat. And once you do that, when you work out, you'll see the muscles come up and out. The muscles are under there, but the fat is a cushion and doesn't allow you to actually create more tone and muscle. So you got to get rid of the fat, and the only way to do it is fast. And when you fast, you turn on autophagy, which eats all the damaged and dead cells, and the ones that should have been gone a long time ago, and the mutated ones, and it releases stem cells. And it also brings you up to a higher consciousness where you actually go, oh my God, I know what I'm supposed to do now. Right. I know my life's purpose.
Clarity.
Yes, clarity. Okay? And that's why Jesus used to fast. Because Jesus needed clarity because he was having a difficult time with all these people wanting to kill him.
In this world, yes.
So he had to love them. Right. So he had to bring his spirit up.
Yes.
And I mean that. I'm not just saying this lightly.
Right.
And that's why fasting helps me. Mm-hmm. So I like to fast 3 days out of every 2 weeks, and I like to fast 1 day out of every week. And then in 6 months, 6 months? 6 months. Yeah. maybe 5 months from now, I'm going to do another. I'd like to do, what I'd like to do is, again, depends how I feel. Like right now, if I wasn't jamming and getting all this other stuff ready, I'd go straight into a water fast.
Mhm.
And I'd do that for 12 days. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to go do a fast right now. But I can't right now because Drake and Jason stress me out. Okay, all right. What's next?
All right. Reginald from Facebook. Good day, Dr. Wolfe. If I have one meal a day, which meal should that one meal be? And he's asking
It should
breakfast.
be lunch.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do breakfast because you're still in your detoxification phase. Why ruin a good thing?
Mhm.
Right? And you want to do lunch because that's when you have the most energy.
Right.
So you want to eat light in the morning and eat light at night, and then your heavier meal would be in the afternoon.
Mhm.
But to be honest with you, people say, so you need to fast, I'll say, and they'll go, I do intermittent fasting. No, that's just learning you how to walk.
Mm.
Okay? Doing a longer fast is the key.
More powerful.
More power. That's right. Well, because you need to go deeper. See, first of all, it takes you 3 days to shut the digestive tract down. Like it's an assembly line.
Mhm.
And it takes some time. Once the digestive tract goes, I'm not needed,
Mhm.
okay? Then all the other energy goes toward
Repair.
restoring and healing and repair and oh my
Clean
gosh,
up.
it's so amazing. You guys have no idea. You know what? The medical system doesn't want you to do it. The government doesn't want you to do this. And corporations don't want you to do this because fasting could bring the whole thing down.
Mhm.
Because it takes you inside.
It does.
When you fast, all your energy and focus goes inside for the first time
Right.
instead of outside.
Outside.
Help me, fill up my broken heart.
Right.
You said you were going to fix me.
So you can feel better, right? It's just a very temporary state.
Well,
I wanted to say something. My own experience with fasting, when I did it with the structured water,
yeah.
it made such a difference. It made it easier to fast than I thought it was. So I think the structured water just makes it so
Well,
much easier.
For one thing, there is no other water. That's like somebody said to me today, I've got a Kangen water unit. And I said,
Yeah.
you don't have structured water.
It's not
I
the
said,
same.
you have electron charge to alkaline water if you want alkaline, but you don't have structured water.
Right.
And a structured water unit, and I'm not telling people not to buy a Kangen unit.
Mhm.
I wouldn't buy one. They're overpriced. They're just an overpriced filter.
Very
And
expensive.
I'm telling you, we can give you anyways, I'm not going to put them down. They're doing a great job. At least
Mhm.
they're getting out there to people and making people more aware.
Yep.
Next question.
All right. Rebecca from Facebook. I've had vertigo for 3 weeks now. What can I do?
Mm.
Well, you have to take a look at her stress. For one thing, the thing about vertigo is you have to shut down this electrical stuff.
EMF.
Oh yeah, if she went to the country, she wouldn't have vertigo.
Mm.
Okay, she wouldn't. But it could be business stress, relationship stress,
Right.
EMF stress.
Right.
Dehydration is the best thing for vertigo to create it.
Mhm.
Okay, so just know that. So has she been hydrating with structured water and electrolytes? Is she getting the
Okay.
minerals that she needs? Okay,
Mhm.
and you have to understand something. It's inflammation. All right, it's inflammation. So why is she off balance? Well, because she doesn't have a perfect day. She's out of harmony with herself somewhere. And I know that might be not really the answer that she wants, but you can call me if you want. We can be more specific, but I'd have to be specific about what's going on with you.
Mhm.
And I will guarantee you this. If it's been going on for 3 weeks, I guarantee you 4 weeks ago, she had a breakup, she had a blowout emotionally with somebody, or it got to the point that she's not dealing with something in her life and it's wearing her down.
Mhm.
Yeah, next.
Julie from Facebook. Hello. What's a safe way for an infant to detox from mandated vaccines?
Mhm.
Okay, first of all, everybody, got to tell you who's coming. I think is it December 10th? Am I right? Is it December 10th, Drake? Anyways, let's say it's December 10th, and we're really close. Del Bigtree, which is the biggest advocate that you have that's fighting for your rights on vaccination. And he'll be live on my show. And then I think it's like 3 days later, we're doing a Q&A. And if you want to see sparks fly, if you want to see real information, real facts, real truth, and that, guess what? That Nazi Germany is now moved into North America, you're going to hear some stuff. And you may not like what I just said, but I'm telling you that we are being more than bullied now, okay? When you hear what he's got to say, I'm just telling you what he said to me. He said, Darrell, this is Nazi Germany, and people don't even know it yet. They don't even have a clue. So, and he also said, this is the main foothold, and I'm not going to say who, but this is their last foothold that they've got to hold down. And no matter that vaccinations have never been studied, they have no scientific data that they're safe. We only have data that they're unsafe. So I'm not taking sides here, but show me facts. And I want you to show me facts when Dell comes on my show. So don't come bashing Dell unless you can give me scientific facts, not third-party lies, okay? All right? Because it's game on. Because it's game on for the children.
Right.
Right. So what I would be doing is I'd be doing what? January 7th. Lucky number. Okay. So what I'd be doing, I don't know how old the baby is, but I would be having the baby do fulvic, okay? Fulvic in the drinking water, all right? That's one of the main things that's going to pull it out right there. Making sure the baby's bowel, okay, is not jammed up. Check the baby's bowel, make sure that the baby's pooping properly. But fulvic is the greatest chelator of vaccinations in the human body. And babies will do it if you give that little bit and play with the baby's belly button with your thumb as much as possible, because it puts the baby into a relaxation healing mode, and it actually will dump that stuff out. That's what all these hormones do. They go in and do that. Also, go in around the liver area and use a vibrator, a vibration unit to actually vibrate the liver, to stimulate the liver. These are things that I would do, right? But then I would never allow my children to get vaccinated. None of my children have been vaccinated. So, but that's, I guess, you know, I was going to say that's the parent's choice, but I'd say, wow, what a terrible choice. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. Dora from Facebook.
Oh, yeah, and if you put black gold in the baby's baby food, okay, if you blend
Sprinkle?
up, what?
Would you sprinkle it?
Well, you'd mix it in, or you'd put it in their soup. It's going to pull it all out.
Okay.
It's going to pull it all out. And Tummy Love restores the good bacteria like nothing else I've ever seen before. Not good bacteria, but Tummy Love. Because remember something, all the alien bacteria that we buy, and some of it's really expensive, nothing is better than Mummy's bacteria. Why do you think we go head first down the vagina? So that we have our mouth open and we lick it all. We lick all that bacteria in her vagina, even from her rectum. I'm telling you, that is immunity. We get it in our eyes, we get it in our nose, we get it in our ears, we get it all over our skin. We're just a slime ball when we come out, and that is healing. Yeah, and that's why you got to, you know what, today, did you know that 50% of all births are cesarean? Okay, did you know that there's women that have had like 3 cesareans cut in the same place, and they wonder why they can't make love with their husbands? It hurts so bad. They wonder why they can't pee anymore. They wonder why they have a tumor growing right where the scar is. Well, come on. We know that any surgery, the scarring from surgery, the actual roots that grow off can be 2 to 3 inches long, wrap around your ovaries, your uterus, your bladder. You're toast. Okay, and then I'll work on women. And they fly in just to get this done, and I'm telling you, they're crying. They're in pain. They can't sit upright because of the scar.
It's going to be wrapping around your spines too, giving you back problems.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and Jason will tell you this. You may not believe this, but I'll actually take my elbow and go in through the abdomen, and I'll dig right down into the front of their spine to unleash or unhook the actual roots from the bloody scar wrapped around their spine, and that's what's been causing their low back pain.
Wow.
Yeah, go figure. And you know what? Nobody talks about this,
they don't.
and everything is a scar tissue issue. And I'll tell you something. It's not just medicine that's broken. Natural health is broken. Natural health will be broken until we empower everyone to know what we know.
Right.
That's it. Okay.
All right. Dora from Facebook. Please elaborate on the endocannabinoid system and its purpose in the body.
Well, the endocannabinoid system, far as I'm concerned, okay, it's the system that actually is in charge of stem cell therapy. How do you like that? And guess what else? The endocannabinoid system is being knocked out by blue light. Blue light knocks it out more than anything else. And that's why everybody's going out to buy CBD now, because the endocannabinoid system is knocked out, and the endocannabinoid system makes CBD. Oh, wait a minute. No, it doesn't, because you don't have it. If you are watching TV, you're on an iPad, you're on your phone, you work on a computer, or you're on a computer a lot, you have destroyed the endocannabinoid system.
I should be wearing my Tesla glasses right now.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but then we'd be like, the names have been changed to protect the innocent kind of thing. You know those guys. And we don't have to go into hiding yet. Okay, all right, next.
All right. Julie from Facebook. Hello, Dr. Wolfe.
Hello, Julie.
What's the best supplement for muscle cramps while exercising and after? If I may say something, make sure you're hydrating with structured water. If you're getting these cramps, you're dehydrated and you have an acidic diet. Also, after workout, HGH on an empty stomach, and SON formula for your amino acids. Darrell?
That's good. That's really good. Also, you'll get cramps too when you're stressed out. I used to get growing pains all the time when I was a child, but when I think about it, I'd also go to bed almost every night smashing my head on my pillow because I was so stressed out about my parents. So I also know that I was magnesium deficient. So, and the other thing is, the craziest part about this is when you've got cramps, they'll tell you to go and take calcium. And we don't have a calcium deficiency, we have a magnesium deficiency. And we still don't have a calcium deficiency because we have more osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, and rheumatoid arthritis than any other country in the world. Go figure. We also eat more dairy products than any other country in the world. Go figure.
Scary
because
dairy.
we're eating it for the calcium. Meanwhile, dairy products are the main product to create osteoporosis. When you're an infant and you're on your mother's milk, there's an enzyme, but if you're off your mother's milk for 1 week, the enzyme stops being developed. And when that enzyme stops being developed, you can no longer break milk down. And this is why right now we are seeing such an increase in childhood diabetes around the ages of 12 years old, 8 years old, in that area. And it's because what happens is when you feed your children dairy, okay, what happens is the body actually builds an antigen against the dairy. And because we have the same type of amino acid in the pancreas, the antigen that goes after the inflammatory amino of the milk goes accidentally after the amino protein in the pancreas and destroys it, and we get diabetes. So believe it, don't believe it, but that's where a lot of this is coming from. And understand that with cramps, we know we have low oxygen level, which is low circulation. So the more that you have scar tissue crystallization in your body, the more blocks you have. All right.
Well said, Darrell. All right. Linda from Facebook. Dr. Wolfe, are counterfeit CBD products easy to distinguish?
No.
And how?
No, they're not. No, they're not. Right now, there's some huge legislation going on. Not so much in Canada, but in the United States. It's actually going to the Supreme Court. There will be some heavy-duty rules and regulations, and I truly believe that the bigger corporations like the beer companies and the tobacco companies will probably take over a lot of, they'll buy out just like they bought out all the farmers. They'll end up in the next 20 years buy out all the CBD companies, and everything will be regulated. So that's where I think it's going to go. I think they allowed it to go wild, wild west and get really corrupted, let everybody do anything they wanted so that they would go, okay, we've got to take control now.
Right.
Okay, it's just one game. Welcome to the game. Okay, next.
Next one, Rebecca from Facebook. I'm getting my root canal removed. What do I need to to know to prepare for it. Lots of oil pulling. I'm juicing and water fasting to get my body ready.
Wow, isn't she genius? There it is right there. Water fasting with fulvic, ormus, ATP. Keep your energy up. Keep your bowels moving. Make sure you're doing a saltwater flush in the morning so that you get the cork out of that bum. You want things to keep moving, okay? And it would be really good if you did like about 10 days of coffee enemas prior so that liver gets really excited about it. Because you know what? Your liver, it gets so much sludge in it from over the years that you don't even know. Yeah, but I have a good diet. Yeah, but what about all the chemtrails? What about the air you breathe? What about the stuff that's in the water? What about all the stuff you don't know that's in your organics that you think it's not in there? You know, it's gotten to a point that trust nature. If you can pick it off the tree, you know, and it's not near anybody else. Yeah, but always use structured water to spray on all your foods because it protects it. It really does, everyone. And make sure that you soak your fruits and vegetables in structured water and baking soda. All right?
All right. Oh, and also, if you have a Bioptron, you can shine the light on your food for a few minutes. Bring up the frequency.
Yeah, we did this where we did this thing called the resurrection carrot, where we took a carrot and we took the carrot, we used acrylium photography, and we could see the light coming off of it. Then we put it in a microwave, and you could see there was just one little bit of light left in it. Understand something? Yeah, we all shine light. Okay, believe it or not, your mitochondria can't make ATP. Their main food is, what is their main food? Light. Mitochondria, their main food is light, or you can't make ATP. So if you don't get sunlight if you don't smile, because you are the light, if you don't eat fresh and raw whole plant-based foods, high frequency, and hang around with high frequency people, all of this comes together to ruin or to create great ATP. Where was I before I went off on a tangent?
Bioptron.
Oh.
Frequencies.
Yeah, so anyways, so we did that, and then we microwaved it, and there was hardly any light. But then we put the carrot underneath the Bioptron for 3 minutes, and then took another picture of the acrylium photography. I know you may not believe this, but I have it in my slideshow, and I'll actually, well, if somebody wants to see it, we can put it on Facebook or YouTube. But after we did the Bioptron light, there was more light in the carrot than before we did the microwave.
Before you nuked it.
Yeah, because Bioptron light is polarized light. There's nothing like it in the world. And then now we have a fluorine lens that'll go right through the bone. All right, next.
Okay. Anna from Intercom. Could you explain to me why the humic acid formula helps in weight loss?
Well, the humic acid formula, the reason why it helps in weight loss is it will go in and actually encapsulate any type of virus in the body, any type of bug in the body that is negative. It will not touch a positive, okay? Because everything is frequency and everything is magnetic. But what it also does is it restores the endocannabinoid system. So it also restores stem cells. And by doing all this and creating the balance, it creates your hormonal balance because it's all about that, okay? All right.
All right. And you can also use the fulvic acid to pick up those toxins and release it from your body in a safe way.
Yeah, and the fulvic acid is the world's best chelator. It'll bring in, it'll go around collecting nutrients. It'll collect over 40 different nutrients in the body, and it'll fill itself up. It's the most amazing thing. And fulvic acid is plant life that's that the dinosaurs used to eat. Looks like coal, but the thing is that it's so high. It has such a high vibratory level because it's from back then that when it takes in the nutrients, it actually has intelligence. It drops off the nutrients and then will fill itself up with 3 times its weight in heavy metals and acidity, and then take that out of your body without symptom. I know. It blows my mind. And it actually, the humic and the fulvic and the tummy love and our life crystal products, they're lifesavers for people. Lifesavers. Go ahead.
Okay, Judy from Facebook. What are the detox symptoms of fulvic acid?
It's really rare. Like I just answered it. It's really rare because the fulvic acid, it doesn't like, it's not like it lassoed the wild horse and it's trying to drag it out. it put the horse in a container
Right.
and it's just moving
Takes
it
it
out of the
out.
body. Now, I'm not saying that somebody wouldn't have a symptom because some people are really sensitive.
Yeah.
Now, the people that say I'm really sensitive to everything, guess what? They're really sensitive to everything. Like you have to walk on rice paper around them. Like they're emotionally sensitive.
Yes.
And you know what? Basically, they're fragile. Okay? So it is not, it's something that I really wouldn't walk around and brag about. Okay?
Mm.
You know, I am not sensitive, okay, because I don't take things personal. So what they actually said was, I take things personal.
Mm.
That's what they're saying. To be oversensitive doesn't mean that you're overcaring. It means that you've got victimitis. Okay, next.
Mm.
Victimitis. All right.
Okay.
Jennifer from Vancouver called in asking, my doctor has recently diagnosed me with lupus. Would any of your products help me with this condition?
Now understand what lupus is. Lupus is like arthritis. It's a connective tissue disease where the connective tissue is being eaten away and it's inflamed. Okay, so what's eating at you? What's eating at you?
Right.
Right. Okay. So understand something. Let's not go after the bug. Let's go after bringing the train up and then send the bug packing. So if we go after the bug, that's okay. We might be able to get rid of the bug.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is the bug will be back as long as the train says, honey, I'm home. Okay? So again, we go after the basics first. We go humic, fulvic, tummy love, black gold, daily cleansing tea, coffee enemas. I'd start there. And I'd look at doing a whole plant-based diet. And I'd make sure there's no sugar, no gluten, no inflammatory foods. That's the basic thing. When you actually talk, we could have 10 people here with lupus, and the program would be similar, but it would be different.
Yeah.
Because everybody, if you could understand this, your personality, which creates your reality,
It's true.
disease or not, is based on functional and dysfunctional beliefs. Now, one person over there has lupus, and if they did something or something happened in their life, they'd send themselves to jail for life. One might send themselves to jail for 10 years. One might just put themselves on probation for a while. And the other one might say, what can I learn from this? Mm-hmm. So as we go along the list, the harder you judge yourself, the worse your lupus is, and the harder it's going to be healing. So I can give you this great protocol, and then you're going to go and mind it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what's going on. So, like with Renee, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's still not there. Is that she believes that she deserves to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I don't. Yeah. I
So that
hear
means that-
you.
that- so
it's
that
not
means-
on purpose, but
No.
it's
Oh my
happening.
God! I would hate to see if you're doing it on purpose.
I
You'd
know.
be-
I'm
you'd off
not.
yourself.
It's totally subconscious. And
I
it's
know that,
becoming
but
aware.
I know, but you are aware. So why haven't you changed it? Because
the program.
the belief that you don't deserve to totally love yourself and let yourself off the hook is the strongest belief in your subconscious, and it's not even yours. It was given to you, and when you were a little girl, you took it on. So why could anybody in their family even want to say, get your act together? Because the family doesn't know that your strongest belief, which is you're unconscious to,
Yeah.
but it's the strongest one,
It
is
is.
undermining your day,
It's running your life.
and you're like a victim, and you're chained down, and they're
Yeah.
going, get your shit together, Renee.
Right.
And you're going, how?
And then we trigger each other, so then it like
Then you're-
perpetuates.
And that's what happens. But guess what? There's not one family out there right now that doesn't go like this. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. Every 6 days at 3:15.
Run your program. Push that button. Yeah.
And then you know what? It's like this. I'm on my way home.
Same day, over and over. Yeah.
I can't get mad at the people on the street. I could bump the horn, but I could walk in, and then you could say something to me as my wife, and I'll go, yeah, figures. I work all day, come home, and I got to put up with you.
Right.
Right? And you're going, what did I do?
Right.
See, I knew it. You won't even take responsibility.
Right. How do I get out of this? How do I change this?
Yeah,
And
I know.
I know it starts with me. And I
Yeah.
know it starts with my own
Well,
beliefs.
it starts with all of us. It starts with all of us. And what happens is when we have a relationship, we come together. We don't realize there's two broken people that come together. And you'll either come together and really lovingly open up and say, honey, I didn't mean that. Yes, you did. No, you heard that, but you know what? How often does somebody go, why did you say that? And they didn't say what they think they said.
Right, came across wrong.
And then guess what? Yeah, a lot of stuff goes down like that.
Right.
And as soon as we understand that our hearts aren't directing the communication, our subconscious is.
Yeah, and that's
So
a disaster.
once you come up through your heart enough,
Right, process.
and you dip everything in total love,
Yeah.
it will take a lot of work. But once every belief in here,
Right.
because your subconscious doesn't care if you and your husband are fighting 24/7. It's saying, hey, listen to me. I'm scared of the future. I'm scared of anything new. You know what? Just because your husband hates you, it could be worse. He could be killing you. And right now, this is where we're going to stay. It's better than what could be.
Yeah.
And that's your subconscious.
Right. And that's not sustainable. And that's not what I came here for. There's something more for me. And I got to get out of the program. I feel like I've been stuck in a program. And I got to rise
Yeah,
above
but the
it.
problem is your husband's in the program too.
Right.
So even if you opt out of the program, he didn't come. So what if he doesn't want to opt out of the program? Oh, then you'll be going, oh my God, I should have never went to see that Darrell guy. Now my life is even more screwed up because you have to have united on both fronts. I love you.
Right. I'm sorry. Let's move forward. It's in the
No,
past.
no, I'm not. I don't care if you went away. I don't care if you went away. Okay, there's too much water under the bridge. See, now that's not his heart talking. That's his subconscious talking. You know what? That's what it's about. That's why we're a couple. When one falls down, the other one picks them up.
Right.
And the thing is this. As long as somebody's truly trying, that's all it takes in a relationship. But when we stop trying, we start lying.
I see. Life can really kick our butts sometimes, but I just have to rise above.
Relationships are like a garden, and weeds can spread.
They can.
Yeah. And that's why I always tell everybody, I tried really hard, didn't I, to get you to bring your husband? Yeah. So the thing is this. We need you to have your brave heart. We need you to not get hurt. You cannot be hurt by anything said anymore. You have to look at it and be logical. And you got to understand what's running the conversation. You and him have been having the same argument for years. Oh, and you have too. Oh, wait a minute. You too. Oh, wait a minute.
Life
you too.
stuff.
No, it's not life stuff. It's BS. Dysfunctional belief systems. It's not real life stuff. I'll tell you what life stuff is.
Okay.
Hey, what do you want to do? Let's create something beautiful between me and you. What's your dream? Okay?
To help
all
other
right?
people.
I'm always like, hey, Jason, every day, don't I?
Every day.
Every day, it's like, what are we going to do? What's crazy? What's wild? Let's do something nobody else has ever done.
I love that.
Okay, well, that's all we can do every day. Listen to me. You just unleash that little girl, that little boy inside of you, and you understand that life is a sandbox. It's not a damn kitty litter. Next question.
Next question. Okay. Paulina from Ontario. My daughter is almost 5. Any tips on treating a cough or congestion? I was looking into buying a humidifier and putting the immunity blend in it for her. Would like help. Can I put the immunity blend on the bottom of her feet daily as well? Thank you. Also, I have a 2-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right on the money, but just get rid of the inflammatory products, bread, dairy, right? And
Soy.
dairy being yogurt, right? Soy as well. Corn, that's
Gluten.
right. Gluten, that's right. And there's no such thing as a good cracker. There's no such thing as a good bread. Let's get that straight, okay? The corporations are always going to sell you, whole grains, fruits, veggies, sprouted seeds, sprouted nuts. Nuts are not good for your kids. Everybody's going nuts over nuts. It's hard on your liver. Stop it. And if you do eat nuts, never eat more than 10 at a time.
And make
and
sure
if
you
do,
chew it thoroughly.
Yeah.
Make sure it's
Yeah.
almost like a powder.
Yeah, you got to break it down to it's a liquid. So we drink our solids and we chew our liquids, right? So that's really important that you get this. And the other thing is check for mold in the house if she's got a cough. Seriously, black mold. It could be up in the attic, down in the basement. Make sure there's no water leaking, something behind a toilet, and then there's some mold even in a shower. Kids are really sensitive to this, okay? Make sure that the Wi-Fi is off. And if I had children, I wouldn't have Wi-Fi on at all. I'd have everything hardwired. And don't you dare let your kids play with the phone. That is so hard on them. They're delicate little brains. So, yes, you were right about the immunity. You can put it on her chest. But if she has a cough, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. And do it that she likes it. And she's going to like it. And I want you to pad there for about 10, 15 minutes every night. Okay? What's that doing? It's releasing stem cells. It's increasing the circulation. It's loosening up the phlegm. And the only reason why she's coughing is because there's maybe a little bit of a bug in there. Why is the bug in there? So we have to ask ourselves that. Why is she low level? Is she stressed out? What is stressing your child out? Okay? All right? And there better not be a baby monitor on the crib, because if there is, that could be a part of the reason why she can't breathe properly. Did you get that one? That's really important that you understand it. If you want to give me a call, I really don't mind. Let's talk about it. When did the cough come? Okay? How long has she had the cough? And do you write down and recognize things that trigger the cough? Find out if it's just because she's not getting her rest. Is the baby dehydrated? When I get dehydrated, I cough. Okay? And I just want to say something about cough. The last time I flew, second last time I flew, I got a cough. When I flew, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm doing a show on Monday, right? And it's how to fly, and I'm going to show you how to fly and have no symptoms and understand something. You better get this. You fly at 35,000 feet, all they can do is bring you to about 8,000 feet, and if you ever climbed a mountain at 8,000 feet, it's hard to breathe. And understand that's what you're in when you're in that tin can. And understand gas fumes are coming through the ventilation all the time. Because of saving money. All planes are like that. They've got the strongest Wi-Fi now. You're in a sardine can. You're with people who don't eat right and that are coughing out viruses and bacteria, and you're trapped in there and they're circulating this. I'm going to show you how to totally protect yourself, and you're going to want to do it. How would you like to take a 12-hour, 18-hour flight and get off of there and feel like you just got out of bed and not that you just got hit in the head? That'll be on Monday. And I think I just, here we go. Let me see here. Deborah from Facebook says that she had a prolapse 25 years ago. One second. Says that she had a prolapse 25 years ago. And the doctors removed the uterus. She has now prolapsed again and has learned it is a problem with the pelvic floor. What can help her? Well, right off the bat, you've got to watch the Holy Grail of Healing on September the 21st, which is Saturday. And that's a 4-part series. Watch that. Go get yourself also an anti-gravity table. Okay, and even if you could hang about here and do that, work your way up. I'll hang there for half an hour. And if I feel like I've been really rushing and stressed out, I'll actually hang, and I can feel right in my groin pulling apart because it feels like it was getting a little stuck together, the tissues. And then I'll put my arms back, and I'll really stretch it out. And I'll just breathe and just hang there and picture my prostate and my whole pelvis just opening up like an accordion. That's really going to help. But the reality is, you're not going to believe this one, but guess what? You get on the perfect day, do the carrot juice 1 week, and then go 12 days on the water fast, and then do the pelvic squat 5 minutes out of every
Absolutely.
hour.
Yes.
Do the belly button therapy, and then get the pelvic enhancer. It's not expensive. And I'm going to tell you something. We just took, you said you had your uterus cut out, but we're going to take that whole pelvic area, and it's just going to go and come right up and be toned like you have never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And we can also do vaginal therapeutic implants, okay? I'm not going to get into that here, but guess what? It's tissue, and that's the issue. Detoxify that area and go in there and clean up the mess. What mess? Well, I don't know. What do you think? You wouldn't have had your uterus cut out if your bowel wasn't leaking waste in there, and it wouldn't have rotted out the uterus. See, every disease is rotten tissue. It's rotting. That's why it smells. If you could smell
Cesspool.
every area in the body, if you can smell the area, it would smell like something's dying. Oh, wait a minute. That would be you.
You're putrefying.
You're putrefying.
Putrefying, yeah.
Yep. So that's why the armpits smell, the groin smells, the breath smells. That's why there's mucus in the eyes. There's floaters in the eyes. You've got tinnitus. I could keep going and going. The reality is that there really is no health care out there. Rose from you.
Self-care.
What?
Self-care.
Well, there is no health care.
Yes.
There's make-believe health care.
Right.
Yeah, well, and you're right. There is only self-care.
Self-care.
I mean, would you let someone else look after your finances?
Right. No.
No, if you let someone look after your finances, they'd steal your money.
Right.
And if you let somebody look after your health, they're going to what?
Right. Look for opportunities.
They're going to steal your health, 1 pound at a time.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just know this. The reality is, if you're coming to me for 2 years from now, am I a good practitioner?
You're one of a kind.
No,
You
don't
are.
No.
But getting me on the path
No, if you were
for
coming to
myself.
me at 2 years from now,
Oh,
then I would be just taking your money.
right.
If I don't teach you what I know, then far as I'm concerned, I don't deserve to call myself a healer.
Right.
Well, if I'm a healer, then why are you coming to me?
Doctor means teacher.
Yeah, and I'm not a healer. You have to heal yourself. All right. Rose from YouTube asks, what causes cherry angiomas and what to do to stop them from coming? Well, first of all, you have to understand something. That's a blood disease. Okay, so there's actually a lot of putrefaction going on. It's a blood disease. So we've got to clean up the blood. So I would really want to take a look at the water, because blood is mainly made out of water. Okay, I would also really want to take a look at the liver. And the liver won't cleanse unless the colon is cleansed. You see how we keep coming back to the same thing? And the other thing is I want to know what kind of stress is in your life, in your relationship. Oh, and do you drink a lot of wine? Do you drink, people think that they can have a glass of wine and get away with it. If you have a glass of wine every day or one beer every day, you're an alcoholic. And you're drinking a fermented product, and we're already fermenting. Right, those brown spots that people have on them, right? Okay? Those brown spots are actually the same thing as like a banana, overripe. Those brown spots are not, they call them aging spots, sun spots, but actually what they are is it's mold. It's mold. You're going you're going moldy. You'd be surprised. You go on a fast and you'll see them leave. All right? Because you got to bring up your vibration.
I don't want to be moldy.
What?
I don't want to be moldy.
Well, I don't know. I think it's inevitable for you. Okay. All right, next question, Jason.
Next question. Okay. Brenda from Facebook. I'm starting out slow with the daily cleansing tea. How long does it stay good in the refrigerator after making a batch?
Well, I'm just going to say never leave it for more than 7 days.
Yeah.
I want it done by 7 days. So if there's only one of you drinking it, then just use one bag and make 2 quarts, and then freeze the other quart in a plastic jug in the freezer, and then let it thaw out. That's it.
Yeah, that's the next part of her question, saying that she only made half a gallon with 1 tea bag. So yeah, you're totally good to go.
Yeah,
Make sure
just
you
freeze
drink
it.
within 7 days, or freeze it too.
Well, you know what? It's like anything else. It's a food. It's fresh. And if the tea didn't go bad in 7 days, then that means that I have preservatives in it.
Right. We don't want that.
No, and we don't want to preserve anything.
No.
No. Let it all go. Okay, next.
Okay, Betty from Facebook. Happy Thanksgiving. Can you explain Can you explain life crystals and how Divine Vine helps repair thyroid health?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, okay, let me just say this. Divine Vine has frequencies in it. And I know people go, frequencies? Well, guess what? An orange doesn't have the same frequency as an apple. So figure that out.
Right.
A donut doesn't have the same frequency.
People have different frequencies.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't have different frequencies because we all have different belief systems, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because we've all been grown in different parts of the country.
Right.
Right. Okay. Homegrown. We've been homegrown. And so understand this, that Dr. George Merkel, which was one of the most brilliant scientists to ever live, but he was also kind of a hermit. And anyways, he was known as the Einstein of food medicine. He created where he actually took like organic tea, and he took fruits, different types of fruits, and other nature ingredients, and he would put them into a tube with structured water. And these tubes were 10 feet tall. And he would put them in a dry, semi-desert area for 6 months. And he would let the sun percolate this. And then he would take it and then he would barrel it. And what he did was, do you understand that we all have mitochondria? Do you understand that we used to be 10 to 15 feet tall? 10 to 15 feet tall. We were. And do you understand that back then we didn't have mitochondria, we had chondriana. And he was actually able to take mitochondria and change it into chondriana. Now I know you don't believe this, but we actually have this technology that we can actually take human beings today and change their mitochondria into chondriana. And that's what we want to do at our clinic in Mexico.
Fascinating.
We want to create a new laboratory and do what he did. And we have the technology to do it. Now, we still have his life crystals. And what he was able to do with life crystals was he was able to take the life crystals and make every tissue in the lab, every tissue, he was able to create every tissue in the human body with the life crystals. Think about that one for a second. If you go to Dr. George Merkel, Vancouver Lectures, you'll actually see him lecturing about this. And you'll actually see him lecturing to some of the most brilliant scientists in the world and making them feel like they were only in kindergarten. I'm not kidding. Okay? And when we talk about Divine Vine for the thyroid, now Joshua, he's our alchemist, he actually creates the vibrational frequencies to actually calibrate with the thyroid and to calibrate with your hormones. So between using the life crystals and using his technology, we're able to put this together and do this. So that's how that is. Now, if you ask me everything about how that's created, from here on in, I'd have to lie. That's what I know. And but I will. Joshua is coming on in about 2 weeks. And you know why? He's coming on because he wants to show people that life crystals can actually do all this, and he's going to explain this. And he's also going to explain how the humic actually rebuilds the endocannabinoid system. And we're doing that show in 2 weeks.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
All right. Paulina from Facebook. Dr. Darrell Wolfe, thank you for the opportunity to ask my question. A couple of weeks ago, both my hands became numb, and in that time it hurt, and I also felt a burning sensation. This happened several times during the day and during the night. Also, I can't bend my left thumb and it hurts. I don't remember getting hurt. What do you suggest I start taking to heal the root of the problem? Thank you.
I don't know if Paulina's a mother but this is all stress. So what happens is when we get stressed out, we bring our shoulders up and we get really tight in here. This is called the brachial plexus, and you've choked off the brachial plexus. If I were to go in here, I'd find this all knotted up. And what you've done is cut the circulation off, and you probably injured your thumb sometime when you were younger, right? You could have fell on it, it healed, but it didn't heal. There's still there was scar tissue or calcium displaced in it, crystallization. So now with the lack of circulation, okay, where would inflammation go? It would go to the weak point. So if you were to come to us and we had 1 hour, we could pull apart all of this and go in here. We could fix your thumb in 5 to 10 minutes. How's that? Because here's the deal. anytime that you hurt yourself, have an accident, whether it's car, sports injury, or even just a chronic injury where you keep hurting something over and over again, I promise you that if you come to us and we do the deep tissue and we don't do more in that hour or get rid of at least 80% of your problem, don't pay us. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take it or leave it. You know, we will take people that are ready to go to surgery tomorrow, and I'm not kidding you, okay? My son is flying to Mexico, and he's going to work on an 80-year-old woman that is supposed to go into surgery, and he's going to stop the surgery. Now, her son, who's a doctor, doesn't want her to go to surgery because the surgery there's a 50-50 chance if it goes the wrong way, she won't make it through it. Mm-hmm. So this is why we get called in. Mm-hmm. We get called in desperation when we should just be called in for regeneration. Mm-hmm. All right. Next.
Okay. Julie asks, hello, I just want to say what a blessing you are, Dr. Wolfe, and how you have impacted my life. I'm so appreciative. My mother, who is 75, has congestive heart failure with stents. One leg is amputated below the knee due to diabetes. She's mostly wheelchair bound or sits in a recliner all day. She also is retaining fluid. That's one of the reasons it's hard for her to put her leg on. What would be the best thing for her stomach aches? Right away, tummy love. Restore that natural gut bacteria. Move on with the question. I've told her to drink baking soda. That's helped a little. Also told her to start clapping. Don't think she could make the tea on her own, and my dad is handicapped as well. Would Fulvic and tummy love be a good start? Thanks so much.
Well, Fulvic, tummy love, where's the daily cleansing tea? You know, let's get the cork out of that champagne bottle, right? Let's get the cork out, and if we can get her to drink more water, that would be really good. And then the baking soda will really help. And I would have your parents do a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water twice a day. Please do not hesitate with this. That stuff is miracle. It's a miracle. Okay? Especially for older people. We need to buffer them down. Okay? All right? They don't have hydrochloric acid to digest. The baking soda is not going to harm that. Just make sure they don't take the baking soda when they eat, just in between meals, and they'll be Jim Dandy. That's it. And you know what? I would say more, but they're not going to do more. So let's leave it alone, and let's see if they do that much. Next.
Okay, Jennifer from Buffalo. My mother has tongue cancer, and the doctors are thinking of cutting her tongue out and replacing it with muscle tissue from her buttocks. Is this real?
I will tell you this much. Yeah, that is real. And guess what? Guess who else had it done? Or they wanted to do it? My mother. Mm-hmm. When I was 29 years old, I had a clinic on Bloor Street in Toronto. And my mother, she smoked McDonald's menthol cigarettes, and she drank 5-star whiskey. And anyways, she called me up, and I didn't know what was going on. I hadn't heard from her in a few weeks, and it just blew right up. I knew she she was having trouble. She didn't want to listen to me, though, you know. Anyways, she could hardly talk. I'm not trying to make fun of her because it, you know, was a bad thing. Anyways, so I said, Mom, you've got to come and stay with me. You know, and that was really hard for her because my mother was raped by her father. And I didn't know that until after she passed. Mm-hmm. But I always knew there was something between the two of them. Mm-hmm. He would come and live with us, and you could see the anger he had for her. And I could never figure it out, and she just loved him. She was always looking to make peace with him raping her. Mm-hmm. But, you know, and my mother was always tormented by something. And that's what it is, you know, like, you know, and there's another thing. You know, the physical abuse and sexual abuse that goes on in this world is beyond Thunderdome, but whatever. So she came. Believe it or not, I put her on a fast. What else do you do? I put her on the fast we just talked about. And anyways, you can believe it or not believe it. In 5 days, swelling was totally gone. She could talk normal. But I had to go to Utah to do a lecture. And you're going to be okay, Mom? You're going to be okay? As soon as I left, she went home, back to the McDonald's cigarettes. back to the 5-star. They never did do that butt thing, tongue thing. But I will tell you something. The body's not forgiving. When you go in detox like that and then you go back to that, its resistance goes down because it thought it was going to get better. It just went boom. And I'm telling you, we couldn't get it down again. Not from juicing, not from nothing. And she had 6 months to 8 months of severe pain. I mean, crying, moaning pain until she passed on. So, yeah, it's a real thing. And yeah, if you get on it or call me, we can deal with this. Why is tongue cancer is so easy to deal with? It's at the front door. It's not the brain. Okay, it's not the pancreas. It's right here. My gosh, we could do so much right here. Laser, light work. Okay? All right, we can do all kinds of things like SAC calcium. And just fasting alone, right off the bat, it's going to do it. You know, it's the funniest thing, eh? The medical system's never going to change. They're just going to be bad boys forever. You know? It truly is. This world is like good guy, bad guy. Good guy, bad guy. Always good guy, bad guy. You know, other people will say it's evil, but I just believe that before we came here, we came down to this life-threatening, fun-filled place called Earth, and it said, well, you know, you're going to have your bad guys and good guys. You're going to have justifying, lying, crying, dying, right? And you're going to lose your spirit, and then the name of the game is to find your spirit and rise up and help to save yourself first, and then save as many people as you can, and then we'll see how well you do at the game. There it is. Okay, let me see. I think I had a ding.
You did.
I think I heard 2 dings.
All right. And I think I'm a ding-a-ling for even being here. What do you think? All right. Dinah from Facebook asks, if someone has blood and protein in their urine regularly, what can you do to help? Well, for one thing, my gosh, are we done beating up our kidneys yet? So with the kidneys, and you get problems like that, there's a fear of loss. You're hanging on. You're hanging on to your liquid. You're hanging on to something, okay? So that's what kidneys are. They're real fear-based. But if you look at it, every time you're in fear, you trigger your adrenals, which sit like a cap on top of the kidneys. Right. And you can't have blood and protein in your urine. For one thing, if you got protein in your urine, what kind of diet is this person on? Seriously. Okay? And the other thing is, to have blood means you've got ulceration, where there's so much acidity, it's actually eating at the lining of the tissue, causing ulceration. All right? So how acidic is that person? So that person has a death wish. They have a death wish. They're not drinking water. They're definitely not on a really good whole plant-based diet. And they're not doing anything to soothe their life. Okay? All right? They're not doing anything to soothe their life. They're burning up. So understand this. Inflammation is acidity. So we get that, right? Inflammation creates a fire. The fire, what does fire do? It burns things up. It eats things away. It makes holes in things. And it makes tissue into beef jerky. So it takes your kidneys and just dries them up and shrivels them up. And you know what? I don't really understand why people don't understand that 99% of all illness is emotional. And if anybody really, if people weren't so much into victimitis about themselves and victims themselves, they'd be able to look at a person and know what is emotionally going down, why that person is crumbling. I can do that in 30 seconds. Why can I do that? Why can I do that? Because I'm not full of myself. Do you understand? When I say not full of myself, I'm not full of myself in the way that I'm full of dysfunctional beliefs about myself. You know, for one thing, I was created by God Almighty. I can read his energy. I can read her energy. Did I read you? Mm-hmm. I read her on the phone, didn't I?
You did.
Okay, and how long did it take me to read you?
Not very long.
How long was it? Minutes?
Minutes.
That's right. So I can read anybody in minutes, and you'll be able to read anybody in minutes the day that you totally honor, love, and respect yourself, and you don't care if you make a mistake because your heart's in it.
Right. Much deeper place.
And I don't care if you like me, I love you anyway. So I'm going to put my heart on the line, and I'm going to tell you what I feel from my heart, not my head,
Right.
not to hurt you, but to help you.
Right.
And if we actually lived like that, this person wouldn't have blood in his kidneys.
Mm.
Because every disease is somebody calling out on some level, for God's sakes, am I not good enough?
Yeah.
Will you just love me? So if you can't feel like you can give the love to yourself or get it from other people, you'll even give yourself cancer so that you can go into the goddamn hospital so you can have nurses and doctors around you to say, we love you. And they will show compassion as much as they can in a crippled system. There, that's why. Question.
All right, Stephen from LA. Ever since they cut my prostate out, I can no longer urinate. I have to catheterize myself. What would you do if you were in my situation, Dr. Wolfe? Well, get
Who?
this bad boy in there.
Who?
Stephen from LA.
Well, Stephen, guess what? Okay, my son Sage is coming down to LA on January the 1st. And if you want, you've got a loving wife or a brother or sister or someone, I can have him stay there an extra 5 days and teach your family how to do this, because you're going to need the pelvic work every week for about 5 to 10 weeks, and then get on a perfect day plan, and we can turn this around. But you got to be serious, and you got to want to love yourself. If you don't want to stick that tube up your penis anymore, well, we're going to help you do it. And I'm going to tell you something. Think about it. To get to the point that you have to stick a tube up your penis to pee, my God, love yourself now. Love yourself now. Mm-hmm. And whatever it takes to go in and fix that God-given vehicle called a body that you have been given so you could come down here and play, you do it. And that's the bottom line. And if you want it, we'll give it to you. We've done it 100 times already. Did you hear me? And yes, there's scar tissue from putting the tube in there. You've got massive scar tissue the size of an orange in your groin right now. You can't cut into somebody and cut a prostate out unless you leave beef jerky behind that's going to wrap itself around your bladder and your urethra and not allow you to urinate. Let us go in there and pull it apart, and then also fast and then rise up your frequency and just take that tissue and you won't have an issue. There it is. Let me tell you. Dawn from Facebook asks if people with cancer can take ATP. People with cancer better take ATP because their mitochondria is damaged. Wherever the cancer is, the mitochondria aren't working anymore. And guess what? A 75 kilogram man, which would be approximately 175 pounds, okay, makes 200 pounds of ATP a day if he's healthy. An unhealthy person is only making about 50 pounds of ATP. So if we take the ATP and we do the fasting and we do all these things that I just talked about, we restore the mitochondria to make the ATP. You can't have cancer. So cancer is actually an ATP problem, but it's actually a mitochondrial problem. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not. It's a problem with light. You don't recognize that you're a light energy being, and you haven't been looking for sources of light all your life. And you've been looking for sources of darkness, which shut your mitochondria down. There you go. Next question.
All right, Cindy from New York.
Yep.
I've been to 2 different doctors, and one says I have eczema, and the other says I have psoriasis. So now I have 2 different treatments. What should I do? Well, first, let's take a look at your diet. Are you eating inflammatory foods? Are you drinking enough water? Get on the perfect day nutrition. Get fasting.
The tea.
But understand
ultimate
something.
Coffee enemas.
But all of those are going to be great, guys. But let's understand what it is. Okay, first of all, 99% of the time, it was antibiotics. And if it wasn't antibiotics, it was chemotherapy. If it wasn't that, it was radiation. Because those are the things that actually take the yeast in the body and change it into fungus. Once the yeast turns into fungus, it drills holes through your intestines. Then you get leaky gut. But here's the fun part. Every time that you said, you know what, honey? It was around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm feeling kind of snacky. Really? What do you want? Well, either it's a glass of wine, or it's ice cream, or it's tacos, or it's chips. Mm-hmm. And guess what? At 8:30, 9 o'clock, do you know what's happening? The fungus, because the fungus is a parasite and the sun is going down.
Oh, they come out.
They're vampires.
And they want to party.
And they want to be fed. And what do they like? They like this stuff. You wine drinkers, you, with those brown spots coming all over you and you smell like a fermented tomato. That's the fungus growing in you. The vaginitis, the sinusitis, the arthritis, the psoriasis, the eczema, the crotch rot, the jock itch,
toenail fungus.
Toenail fungus. You are right on the edge of cancer. And if you've got toenail fungus, I will make a bet that if we took 100 people with toenail fungus, that 99 out of 100 are going to die of cancer. Well, come on. You got fungus through your whole body so bad that your toenail is rotting off because of fungus.
Can't get out.
And what is cancer?
It's a fungus.
Oh, my God. We might have a clue here. Okay, so now we've drilled the holes. Now the fungus gets into the blood. Now we've got systemic throughout the whole body. Right. So now, if it goes through all the rivers, it's going to get into the soil, which means that would be the skin. And your skin is the mirror of your large intestine, where it first started to drill the holes. So the worse the eczema is, the worse the fungus is in your bowel. And a psoriasis is eczema that's all grown up. It's just thicker scabs. Let me tell you something. Are you kidding me? There are like 10,000 different diseases and there's only one. Okay? Dysfunctional belief systems. Jeepers creepers. Have you had enough yet? You know what? It's like this. Somebody's going to go, I got this disease, Dr. Wolfe. And they'll go, da-da-da-da-da. And I'll go, I don't know what that is. And you call yourself a doctor. Yeah, well, they just made it up yesterday. Oh, or there's a new drug. And I'll go, well, I've got to look this up and see what the side effect. Why do you? Well, I don't know. Right. Because they changed the names to protect the innocent. Oh, wait a minute. There is no innocent. I mean, this is just a game, and you can't keep up with it. So you don't try. Right?
Right.
Okay, and I'm just a quack anyway. Oh, and talking about quacks, do you know where the word quack came from? Back in 1910, the AMA were called quacks. Anyways, but now we're quacks. I don't mind. Quack, quack. Let's go.
All right. Speaking about toenail fungus, Lucy from Idaho is asking, my husband has toenail fungus. And I noticed the other
Holy crap.
And I noticed the other night on TV, it said that it is contagious and spreads. I'm worried that he may get it on me when we are sleeping. What should I do? Thank you.
It's not. It's
it's an inside job, huh?
It's an inside job, and they're actually trying to create fear in everyone, because pretty soon what's going to happen? Are you ready for this? The next commercial will be, you know what? Your husband has toenail. Your husband has what? He has toenail fungus, right?
Toenail fungus.
Your husband has toenail fungus, and I just want you to know that you're going to have to take this fungus product, because if he rubs you the wrong way, okay, you're going to wake up and you're going to look like a little green alien. Okay, so the reality is, okay, BS baffles brains, okay? So whatever we can sell, whatever we can make up, let's just do it. And when they aren't really lying if they wanted to tell the truth, because it has spread throughout the whole person, but it's not going to get on you, okay? All right? Other things may get on you, but not that. All right.
Okay. James from Tennessee. I have tried everything and I have a sore throat for about a year. Any suggestions?
Well, first of all, it might be a neck problem. Or it might be where you work. So it could be the ventilation problem, or it's because people will get a sore throat when they choke on something, like they can't say something. Something might be stuck. You could be in a relationship where you should have said, I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or you might be in a job where you should be saying, I can't do this anymore. Or, like I said, it could be a ventilation problem, okay? Or it could be just a habit that you have. But understand something, a lot of times throat problems do actually come from the bowel again. That's all I can say. But I will say this, whenever I have a throat problem, do whatever you want. I'll take a couple drops of immunity, put it in my mouth and let it trickle down, okay? Or I will spray silver bullet back in the back of my throat, or those things are going to take it away. And I will also put immunity or pain away on my neck. My throat and the back of my neck. Yeah, try this. Put pain away on the back of your neck, and at your sore throat, if it goes away, you know that it's actually a neck problem. Mm-hmm. Okay? All right? Those are a few things. And if you do the pelvic squat and you lean over and you just breathe and stretch your spine out, you might feel it might go away, because you have to understand something. The more that something's in pain, the more it contracts. The more pain you have in something, when cells are inflamed, those cells will actually create and make the outside of the cell will become thicker, and it will become stickier, and then the cells will stick together. These are tissue cells, but you'll see that in blood cells as well. Okay? All right. CL from Facebook says that cancer rates are skyrocketing in Long Island due to radiation leakage at Brookhaven Lab. Well, yeah, and guess what? Move. And the other thing that you can do is get yourself an ozonator, a really good ozonator for your home, because ozonation will break that down, okay? But the thing is, I would move, because things are only going to get worse, because nobody really gives a crap about you anyway. And they don't. Systems don't. You have to understand something, whether you get this or not. Think about your government, then think about who you like there. No one. Okay, so that's good. And the reason why you don't like them is because they don't like themselves. You couldn't work and be in government if you loved yourself, because guess why? Because you do know deep down inside that all governments work for corporations. Oh, like that was so hard to figure out. Okay, and yes, let's all rah, and with the new election coming, let's get all watch it every night. And no, not. Okay, next question.
Right. Veronica from Houston. Can you give me your Christmas tips to deal with relatives?
Christmas tips to deal with relatives.
Stay connected to your breath. That's one.
Yeah, and don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Don't drink alcohol. Yeah. If you already are asking the question, don't you dare drink alcohol. Don't go near it. And after the third drink, you get your butt out of Dodge. You get your butt out of Dodge, because you wouldn't be asking that question if you weren't already leery about this. You know what I mean? So if you see that they're pouring heavy, by the third drink, you're out. The first drink, everybody's happy. The second drink, they think they're the most intelligent person in the room. And the third drink, they're just dumb. Okay? So that's how it goes. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, how do you get along with relatives? If somebody brings up a topic and you don't want to talk about it, just go, hey, just go hold on for 1 second. Right. I got to go to the bathroom. Right. Nobody's going to say, hey, no, I want to talk now. Right?
That's a great way to deal with it.
Well, that's what I do all the time. Yeah. And then I just stay in there long enough that they forget about me so that they can go terrorize somebody else. And then I come out and I excuse myself. I was at a party actually down in, where was I? Gosh, I go around too many places. Let me think. I had this big lecture and I went to this party afterwards. And I actually snuck out through the kitchen. Yeah. Yeah, because it was getting a little bit sideways. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to honor, respect, and love myself. Exactly. And I'm not, I don't care if you're my family. You know what? I don't care you whether it's a stranger or my family or anyone else. Mm-hmm. You know what? If it's nice and loving, I'm in. Right. And if it's not, I'm out.
Right. Protect yourself.
Well, no, it's this way. You know, the reality is that why would you stay when people are heading somewhere? They're going to go there anyway. Yeah. right? So if I get hit by them, emotionally or physically, it was my fault. Darrell, didn't you see the train? Okay.
They're running a program, in other words.
Well, yeah, they're running a program, and the thing is, did you ever tell someone to calm down? How'd that work?
It doesn't work.
Okay, did you ever tell someone that they were out of line?
Right. They can't receive it.
Okay,
They can't hear it.
so the reality is you need to get out of that line.
Right.
Okay, next question.
Okay, we have Janie from Arizona. Every year for the last 3 years, my kids are sick after Christmas. They bring home the flu. Any suggestions?
Well, actually, the kids don't bring home the flu. Actually, the kids go to school, and Christmas took away their immune system. So what happens is, I don't care how many people cough. Like, I did catch a bit of a cough when I was on this airplane, but I was run down, okay, because I was just going full bore. You know when you need to rest.
Yeah.
But the reality is kids don't catch colds or flus. Their body's immune system is down, and the virus is around the air. Look, every day you take in every virus and bacteria that has ever existed on the planet.
It's part of life.
Depending on you're the petri dish. And if the petri dish welcomes the virus and says, hey, come on in and party down with us, we're going to grow, it will grow. So the reality is, if you were to have no sugar and no dairy, which I know you're not going to, at Christmas time, your kids would never get sick. That's it. You know, the reason why you have snot coming out of your nose or your eyes or your ears or your vagina or your rectum is because it's got to come out one hole or another, because you're inflamed and you're making so much of it to try to encapsulate the bacteria, the virus, or the mold. That's all. So that's why we get snotty, because it's to grab it, okay, and to isolate it. And it's inflammation. And the inflammation will eat holes in your tissue, so you make extra mucus to try to buffer the lining until you get rid of that. So listen to me. Humic, fulvic, tummy love, daily cleansing tea during Christmas, okay, and some silver. Your kids are going to rock that show. Yeah. I've got another one. Rebecca from Facebook says she's been getting headaches that make her nauseous, that what it could be and what. Okay, headaches because she's nauseous, it's her stomach. Okay, so what are you so nervous about? When you have nausea, that's your stomach. Okay, when you have a headache, that's because you're stressed out. Now, when you're stressed out, you'll dump hydrochloric acid in your stomach and there won't be any food in it. So every time you go into fight or flight, you can dump hydrochloric acid in there. That's the nausea. So what are you stressed out about? Okay? Maybe you're stressed out about Christmas. Is your mother-in-law coming? Okay? Or your father-in-law? Or do you have to go somewhere? You don't like to fly? Okay? Or it could be a bug, but usually they don't cause headaches, just nausea. It's fear and stress that causes these two. It really does. I'd take baking soda. Boom, right away. You buffer the acid down in that stomach and bring that down. You start doing black gold and fulvic, it's gonna calm that right down. Okay? And just make sure you're pooping. Okay, 1 poop a day is not enough. Let me see 2 to 3 if you feel nausea. And have it like a cow plop so that we make sure that everything's going to move along, right? Let's not back up anything, all right? And headaches are usually stomach. That's about all I can say. Next.
Okay, Maureen from Facebook. Where can we get these protective devices? Please let me know, Dr. Darrell Wolfe. I have a transformer right outside my window. I've been living in this condo for 14 years.
Okay, first of all, if you're renting the condo, move. If you're not renting the condo and you own it, move. You don't do that. You don't subject yourself to a radiation machine right outside your window. I'm going to tell you something. My brother lived and he had a transformer outside. And guess what? He would grind his teeth at night. As soon as he moved, he wouldn't. He almost ground his teeth down to nothing because it was irritating his nervous system.
Right.
It was burning him out. Here. We've got them here. We've got them. This is a purple one. We've got them in pink, and we got them in turquoise. and we're getting in royal blue in 1 week, and then we have what's called a protector for your home and also the Wi-Fi, and just letting people know that on Boxing Day, Wi-Fi's are going to go on sale, and it'll be the biggest sale of Wi-Fi's, and we won't have them on sale again for another year. So you might, if you've always been thinking about it, that would be the time I would jump. Okay? Next.
Rebecca from Facebook.
Oh, go to EMF/light on Doc of Detox store. There you go. That was the question.
Okay, Rebecca from Facebook. What would cause circulation problems in the feet and hands? What to do to fix it?
Well, we know there's low oxygen levels, and we probably have a physical block. I don't really know. That person could have an abdomen that's sticking out or one that's hanging down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And the thing is this. If you're not eating high vibrational foods that are high in oxygen, high in nutrition, then there's not enough to get to the ends. That's all. Mm-hmm. It's really quite simple. If you're eating a lot of processed foods, then there's just not enough nutrition and oxygen to create the heat, to create the circulation. And also, if you're totally stressed out all the time,
mm-hmm.
okay, like here, let me see.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
You see your hands? What do I feel like?
Yes.
Okay, her hands are sticky and they're cold, and they've always been that way. And that's because you're running a stress program that you're going to be in trouble.
Mm.
Right? So people who have cold hands and cold feet, they're waiting for the shoe to drop and find out that they're responsible for destroying the world.
Mm.
Boy, you're powerful. Okay. All right. So that's the problem. Like when people have really, like when their hands are wet and cold, that's their adrenals frying out.
Mm.
Okay?
Could be their thyroid too.
The adrenals are really the main
The
thing.
main thing.
Yeah. And it's the kidneys.
And
They're
the-
really frying out. Like right now, you should be drinking water.
Mhm.
Like, you know, and people that have that, okay. Do you know why you have that? The fear of loss.
Hmm.
Because I told you that was kidneys, right?
Mm-hmm. That's fear.
So when people have kidney problems, they have the fear of loss.
Okay.
That's right. And usually they have urination problems.
Hmm.
Do you have urination problems?
Mm-mm.
Should be a coming. Unless you change things. So you got to change your
Change.
personality to change your reality. And that's how you change you get rid of diseases. You know, the thing is it's a real test today when 1 out of 2 people will get cancer. And the thing is that you may not know this, but the media and corporations has scared the living crap out of everyone about cancer.
Yes.
So as soon as you get cancer, all you do is think about dying.
Right.
And it's hard for you not to think about dying. And whether you want to know this or not, what feeds cancer the most? The bad diet or the fear about dying?
Fear about dying.
Yeah, actually feeds the cancer. So if you can
It's a low state.
if you connect to your creator
Right.
and know
Raise your vibe.
and know that you deserve to live and thrive.
Mm.
Do you deserve? So if you have guilt, you're gone. Guilty people don't get well.
Mm.
Do you have guilt?
Being honest, yes, I do.
Well, you're not going to get well. You're not. You're going to struggle. You'll feel like you're almost there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Right now, if you have guilt, it's like somebody built you a 10-foot ladder
Mm-hmm.
and stuck you in a 10-foot hole. I mean, a 20-foot hole.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time you get halfway out, you're going, I got this.
Mm.
So here's the deal. Have I done things in my life that I wish I didn't do? Yes.
Right.
Am I going to bear guilt over it? Not at all. And so you can say that's selfish, and I'll say that I'm selfish enough to know what I need to stay well, thank you very much. And if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
that's up to you, right? And if you think feeling bad and beating yourself up is the way to go, just make sure that you're letting your family know and everybody that you think wants you to suffer, at least tell them. All right, next.
Okay, we have Christina from New York. Good
Okay.
day. There's a lot of hype around the lectin-free diet. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to tell you there's a lot of hype around a lectin-free diet. Let's move on. Not trying to cut you short, but enough is enough. This year it's that. This year it's this.
You're right.
I'm not telling, you know what, if you're, I love tomatoes. I can't do tomato sauce. Nobody should eat tomato sauce. Nobody should have tomato juice. But you should eat raw tomatoes. Fresh raw tomatoes.
From nature.
From nature. Right? I like lentils. If I eat too many lentils, then I get a heartburn. But I love lentils. I like to do lentil soup. Go by your feeling. You know? You got to do what you do. You know what? You're going to find out that my perfect day diet, it doesn't have any of this goofy stuff. Nightshade, I do mention what nightshades are, but you can eat all the nightshades you want. It's only people that are totally inflammatory that are blowing up with inflammation. You might want to just chill out a little bit until you get over the inflammation, but then go and have them. Your body can handle it. All of a sudden, we can't heal anymore. All of a sudden, these vegetables are now targets.
Right.
So let's create lots of BS, dysfunctional belief systems,
Distract people.
and just confuse the living. I don't know what to eat, so I don't give a crap what I eat.
I've
You know what?
been
I don't know what to eat, so I'm going to go. You know what? I know? I know this, that you can't find vegetables because they're sprayed, so I might as well just go and eat garbage. Okay, next question.
Okay, Kimberly from Facebook. What do you think about the machine that shakes the body to simulate the lymph nodes?
Okay, so I have one in the office here, and anything to shake things up and loosen things up is really good, but nothing helps the lymph nodes more than getting on daily cleansing tea, tummy love, and black gold, and drinking fulvic. That's it. Because the bowel is in charge of the lymph nodes. Because if the bowel's not cleaned out and moving right, the lymph nodes don't drain. And if you could kick in an ultimate coffee enema, then you're off to the races. And understand something, it's exercise that moves the lymph. So rebounding is the key. So that's the true key.
Dry brushing.
Dry brushing, salt glows, okay? All right, I'm going to show you guys my sauna next week, and I'm going to go down there and show you how to do skin brushings. I'm going to show you how I do a sauna, okay? All right, I'm not going to wear any clothes. All right, okay, next.
Stay tuned for that. Lori from Facebook.
We're going to change the names to protect the innocent. Okay, all right.
Okay, Lori from Facebook is asking, I had cancer cells at 19. I didn't realize until from you that a childhood physical trauma resulted in cancer. Finally, healing my own body, but boy, it almost took a lifetime to understand, to love, honor, respect myself. Thank you, Dr. Wolfe.
Thank you, Lori. And guess what, everybody? So I want you to understand something. The word cancer, the capital C stands for contamination, conflict, okay, and corruption, all right? The corruption is our society. They're trying to corrupt us, and they're trying to contaminate us with the information, all right? And that gives us the contamination, which leads to inflammation, and inflammation leads to mutation. And if you take away the C, which that stands for, you're left with ANSER, and you are the answer. You've always been the answer, okay? So listen to me right now. Until you're going to totally let yourself off the hook for everything you've ever done and everything that you're ever going to do, and you let everybody else off the hook for it, and you totally forgive yourself and everyone else, but then you never forgive anybody again. Why? Because people don't change. And if I forgive you every time you do something, let's say we're in a relationship, and I forgive you, and you don't change, I'm going to hate you. So you're going to have to accept people for who they are, and if you can't accept them for who they are, and it's somebody you live with, they're going to have to move out, or you're going to have to move away. And that's how life should go.
Healthier environment.
People don't like that. They don't like to hear that. But the reality is that you can forgive. If you keep forgiving somebody that's not going to change, you're going to hate them. Or you're going to hate yourself for being in that relationship. So there's the poison right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Not helpful. Yeah.
No. Next.
Ilana from California. You were so right when I tell my son to look after himself and take some good care of himself. He says I don't like your hocus pocus. Are you full of hocus pocus?
Yeah, I am. I'm full of hocus pocus because hocus pocus is anything that the majority doesn't do. And you know what? I don't want to do anything that the majority is doing, because the majority is 92% of the population has autoimmune disease. 1 out of 2 people have cancer. 80% of the population is overweight. 60% of the population is obese. And 99.9999% of the population doesn't love themselves and is unconsciously trying to kill themselves. So yes, hocus pocus, I'm out of here. All right, next.
Okay. Colette from Facebook. I have 2 fusions on my spine. The upper curve between shoulder blades is solid bone. The lower curve has some bone fused onto vertebrae. I'm not sure if this can be made better.
Yes, it can. Of course it can be made better. I'm going to give you a money back guarantee. You can come here and I won't even charge you. We'll video it. What do you want? Oh, yeah, but I know you can't get a plane ticket. Right. Okay, that's fine. I won't charge you a nickel. Come stay in the condo. We'll video it. We'll work on you for free, right, Jason?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll do that for her.
And then we'll show everybody what we do. And that's that. Next.
All right. Rebecca from Facebook. You said on a previous show that silver bullet in your ear would take away tinnitus. It didn't work for me.
Okay, I didn't say that. I said that putting silver in your ear helps against tinnitus. And understand, that's silver, okay? It's not DMSO solvent, okay? Because tinnitus in the ear is caused by crystallization, displaced calcium, and scar tissue, all right? And it could be caused because of the Wi-Fi and EMF. What if you lived in a condo? Did you ever look at your phone and see, 50 different Wi-Fis? Right. Okay, I got my silver bullets got to compete against 50 different Wi-Fis, and now with 5G coming, we know that it is actually a weapon of mass destruction, and they're actually going to be putting it on people. And I don't know if you drink wine every night. I don't know if you eat bread, sugar, gluten, all of these other things. And you know what? I don't know if you live with someone and you don't want to hear them anymore, so you've got ringing in your ears. You know what? Everything is attached to everything. And understand something. We get rid of tinnitus when I can go in there and work on with my elbow and help to loosen everything up. Use the Bioptron light, put the silver and put the fulvic in, okay, and put essential oils around the ear. We can take people that are hard of hearing or can't even hear anymore and reverse their hearing. I've done it. So the reality is that the silver and the fulvic nano eye drops putting in your ear are all good prevention. Everybody should be doing it if you want to hear great for your whole life. You should put it in your eyes, you should put it in your nose, and understand something. Nothing's guaranteed, because I don't know your personality that creates your reality. All right.
All right, we have Jazz from Wyoming. My husband has ankylosing spondylitis. I've told him to eat plant-based to heal and stop his spine fusing, but a specialist said it won't help and he will need to take medication his whole life.
Okay, so anyways, I'll tell you another thing, all right? I'm just feeling like this, and I'm not going to be doing this when you send this in. I'm just saying this today. Let him fly here. We'll video it. We'll do 2-hour work treatment on his spine, and we'll give him back 90% of his flexibility. And we'll put it all on video, and we'll put it on YouTube. I'm not going to say any more. You know, this is all just ridiculous. You're all crazy. Everybody's crazy out there. The body doesn't know how to heal. I don't know how to heal. Only medicine knows how to heal, but they don't heal. And then you've forgotten about who created you, what you were created for, and that, you know what, you can turn anything around, except you're limited by your set me free. Okay?
All right, we have Juno from Facebook. Pain on the left side of my head for 2 years when I use my cell phone. Please help.
What did he say?
She said she has pain on the left side of her head when she uses her cell phone. I think the answer's in the question.
So you know what? Okay, so this is really statistics, okay? Go take a look at the show I did with Magna Havas, okay? What the cell is going on, okay? All right? And check that show out on YouTube. And this is what she says. Oh, actually, no, it was Dr. Howard Fisher who said it. He said it. And this is actually, you got to go watch Dr. Howard Fisher and me on YouTube. You go watch this. It'll blow your brain. And this is all stats. This is all science. That's who he is. He's Mr. Science Guy. Anyways, so if you give a child a phone, okay, all right, and they put that phone up to their head, okay, in 9 years, they'll have a brain tumor. So every year, if a person holds it to their head and doesn't have it down here, they hold it this close. Every year, take 8%, 8%, 8%, 8%. That's how close you're getting. And they're saying it's 100% that after 12 years, you will have a brain tumor if you've put it there. It's impossible not to, because you're taking an actual microwave tower and shoving it up into your brain.
Right.
Who does that? Okay, next.
All right, Rebecca from Michigan. Where can you find the necklaces, bracelets, and crystals for sale?
I already told everybody. EMF/light. Next.
Okay.
How long have we been on? I don't want to.
Just over 2 hours.
Okay. All right. We'll have to save these questions for next week, everyone. Okay?
Okay.
All right. What do you think of that, Renee?
I think this has been great, very informative. I love how people can ask their questions. I love how you answer all the questions and make yourself available. Do this for people.
Wow. And we didn't even have to pay her a lot of money to say that.
No, I mean that from my heart.
I
really
know you do,
I
sweetie.
really do.
I know you do. I know you do. Anyways, I want to thank you for being here with us. Did you like it?
I did, and I've enjoyed this week, and I enjoyed being part of this, and I love you dearly. So thank you, Dr. Wolfe, for all that you do.
You're the bestest co-hostess I've ever had.
Thank
Come
you.
here, sweetie.
Thank you. I know I speak on behalf of a lot of people watching, so
Okay.
we're grateful.
So anyways, I want to thank everybody for joining me. Monday, I'm going to be doing a show at 3 o'clock, and it's how to fly safe, how to fly healthy, how to get to that Christmas dinner, that New Year's party, and not feel like you just got ran over by a plane. Okay? And don't forget that on the 21st, I'm going to be releasing the Holy Grail of Healing. And then on the 23rd, we're going to be releasing one video from the 40 videos from the A to Z Wellness Masterclass. Okay? And then 12 midnight, New Year's, we're going to release it to 1,000 people free. Okay? And once that we hit that 1,000, then it's going to be a whopping $5 a month. Okay? And I'm going to be adding every 2 months another part of that video series. The next one I'm going to be adding is I Am Woman, and it belongs in that series. And it's going to teach women where they were, what was done to them, and what's going to be done to them if they don't wake the heck up. Okay? Because women are where the money lies, because women bring life into this world, and they're like the canary in the coal mine. And now that everything's going to hell in a basket, so are they. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, if women do not rise up and the feminine part of men comes up and women do not show them how to get there, this world will not make it. All right? So I want to thank you for joining me. And I just want to tell you all that I know that you're struggling, but understand something. We came here for the adventure. And if you're going to struggle, you might as well be doing it for something amazing. And you know what? There's a genius inside all of us. And I want you to go and take a good look inside yourself tonight. And I want you to understand something. You haven't even scratched the surface yet. Okay? So the new year's coming. So let's find the new you, the real you, the authentic you. God bless. Mm-hmm. Right, Renee?
God
Would
bless.
you like to tell everyone?
I just like to tell everybody that Dr. Wolfe is the real deal. He's really blessed my life. I'm so glad that I came here. I'm glad to be part of this. I'm glad to be learning all the things that I've learned from him. I'm thankful for the library, for all of his videos, all the work that he does.
And don't you think that Renee deserved to have the best life ever? and that she should be just totally loved by her family and everybody else. Okay? So you're going to have to demand it, sweetheart. Have a good night, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, Doctor.
If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.